You're watching 11 Alive Morning News. 11 minutes of nonstop news starts now.
3 months of just dedicated hard work for recovery, and that's at best.
Officials in Spalding County expect recovery to take quite some time in the aftermath of the devastating tornadoes. We are live with the latest on the destruction.
And saying goodbye, UGA staffer Chandler Lee Croy will be laid to rest today after a deadly weekend crash. How loved ones are remembering her.
And you need to be careful heading out this morning. We do have dense fog in the area. In fact, it will last through about 11 o'clock, and then we'll see cloudy skies with warm conditions. More details coming up.
Following breaking news, an active hostage situation still underway in Atlanta.
We want to get you straight out to Jerry Carnes at Greenbrier Parkway with an update. Jerry, you just got to the scene. Tell us what's going on right now.
Oh, good morning. We are at the Landing Square apartment complex here off Greenbrier Parkway. SWAT team just arrived here, and you can see APD units continue to arrive here. Not a lot of detail to go on. This is a gated community, everything taking place on the other side of the gate there. But what we can tell you, according to Atlanta police, is that a woman who lives here called her mother overnight to tell her that her boyfriend was here, that he was armed, and that he was refusing to allow her to leave her apartment. The mother of that young woman who lives here then called APD. APD arrived here on the scene, went to the apartment door, heard some disturbance back on the other side of the door, could not get the man or woman out, and so once again, SWAT team now here on the scene trying to resolve this situation. It's been going on for hours now. SWAT team arrived just before we did. We continue to see APD units arriving here. We hope to get an update on exactly what is happening as they try to negotiate with this man who is apparently keeping his girlfriend held inside of her apartment. He, again, we're told by officers here on the scene that that man is armed. So we'll stay with it and let you know when it's resolved.
Jerry, thank you. We are learning more about the deadly tornado outbreak that devastated communities across the state.
We are on the ground in Griffin this morning with a look at the recovery efforts there. Ariana Manise live for us. Ariana, Griffin's getting a visit from FEMA officials today.
Yes, that's right. Good morning. Griffin and Spalding County emergency officials say they are working around the clock to restore power and utilities for hundreds of neighbors like the one in this neighborhood who are waking up this morning in the dark and with fallen trees in their front yard a week after this storm. Tornadoes damaged or destroyed nearly 2,000 homes and businesses in Griffin and Spalding County alone, and 1,800 residents are still in the dark, but crews are making progress. Griffin Power estimates 80% of its customers now have power, and as far as clearing uprooted and fallen trees, they say it could take weeks to reopen all the streets that are covered in debris. Take a listen.
We can expect 3 months of just dedicated hard work for recovery, and that's at best. Absolutely at best. This was 5 tornadoes that moved through our community, and it did a tremendous amount of damage. So we can't expect to put this place back together overnight.
And nearly a week after the storm, we're still coming across down power lines and fallen trees like the one behind me. Now, FEMA officials, they'll get to look at this on their own as they will be in the area assessing what happened in this area. And they do plan to give an update to residents this afternoon. Back to you.
Ariana, thank you. And a 5-year-old Georgia boy killed in last week's storms will be remembered today.
Egan Jeffcoat's funeral is this afternoon. His mom had picked him up early from school because of the storm on Thursday. The medical examiner says a tree fell on their car as it traveled in Jackson. She survived. Egan's visitation and funeral is at the Heston Funeral Home Chapel this afternoon. The funeral's at 3. Egan is being remembered as a loving and creative child who loved fishing.
Loved ones are pleading for someone to come forward with information about the death of 23-year-old Malik Bani. This week, police ruled his death a homicide, almost a month after a contractor found his body in an abandoned home in South Fulton. Police say Malik, who had autism, wandered away from a group home back in November. Police still waiting on an autopsy report there.
Tickets go on sale this morning for the possible AFC Championship matchup at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The NFL says if both the Kansas City Chiefs and Buffalo Bills make the cut, they'll face off in Atlanta on Sunday, January 29th. Season ticket holders get tickets starting at 10 a.m. You'll get a refund if that game doesn't end up happening at the Benz. Continuing your 11 minutes of nonstop news, family and friends getting ready to say goodbye to UGA staffer Chandler LeCroy today.
She was killed in a weekend crash alongside Georgia offensive lineman Devin Willock. Molly Oak has the details on today's service.
Devin and Chandler, you will always be champions. That's what one handwritten note says at this memorial outside of Sanford Stadium. Today, family and friends continue to remember the UGA staffer that was killed in a crash over the weekend. Chandler LeCroy's family says there will be a funeral service at 3 o'clock this afternoon at First Baptist Church in Toccoa. We talked with LeCroy's high school cheer coach, who tells us she always wanted to mentor and help athletes. She graduated from UGA with a master's degree in 2020 and joined the school's athletic department as a recruiting analyst. Her friend since middle school says she never met a stranger.
If Chandler could do anything, she most certainly did. That's just the person she was. She had a heart of gold.
The church's pastor says the service will be live streamed on its website. Back to you all.
Molly, thank you. Right now, students at one Cobb County Middle School on edge as they get ready to head back to class today. Witnesses say a student stabbed another student after a fight at J.J. Daniel Middle School in Marietta. A letter from J.J. Daniel Middle School's principal says the student hurt themselves and another student during this altercation on Tuesday. It happened during lunch. A Cobb County school spokesperson released a statement saying this incident will be handled according to state law and district policies. The school is also offering counseling services to those kids after the attack.
Fog out there right now, but it will lift. Eventually, by noon, we'll just see cloudy skies. Temperatures right around 63 degrees with that southerly breeze at about 5 miles per hour. By 3 o'clock, we're going to reach a daytime high of 68, folks. That's how warm we're going to be this afternoon. Despite the fact that we won't see much in the way of sunshine, there could be an isolated shower around or two by the 6 o'clock hour. Temperatures right at 65 degrees by then.
Something about the fog. It always lifts.
It does lift.
Rise up.
Eventually.
Very wise words right there.
Wise lady.
Write that down, folks.
Yes.
The fog always lifts.
Write it down. We'll see you tomorrow morning.